Hi, I'm Paul Katami and welcome to your Kettlebell Foundation tutorial and mini workout. Now I hear it all the time, people are afraid of kettlebells because one, the way they look, and two, because the moves seem extreme. But let me tell you, with skillful approach to building the actual moves into your body, this could be the best variety to add to your workouts for cardiovascular work and strength building in your body. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna actually approach the swings and the kettlebell clean to rack. First thing we're gonna do is a twist, arms out to the side, shoulders pat down, top of your head reaching for the ceiling, and you're gonna twist from the floor up into your midsection. This twist is gonna change just a little bit because kettlebells incorporate a lot of swinging. So we're gonna add a little modified swing here side to side. Take a look, swing, back to center, swing, back to center, making sure that you drive those feet into the pivot. You're on the balls of your feet as you move. And this swing is gonna mimic some of the moves that we'll do with kettlebells. And I wanna make sure that you're moving from the core. You're gonna wake up that core quite a bit because you're gonna notice while you use kettlebells that your core fires up all the time. It's the added benefit to doing all this kettlebell work. Great, give me one more right here on each side. And let's come back to center. Roll your shoulders back, basic squat, just your body weight. You're gonna sit down and come right back up. So all we're doing here is a basic squat. All the same rules apply. You wanna sit back away from your knees. You wanna make sure that you're bending the knees actively, and you wanna make sure you're not falling down into your squat, but using the movement in both directions. While you're here, I encourage you to open up those feet, get the widest base of support, push those feet into the ground so you really activate your legs every time you do this. Great. What we're gonna do right now is add a knee lift. So one hug, you're gonna lift the knee and hug it. Squat, lift the knee and hug it. So keep going right here, and all you're doing here is just waking up the legs a different way. You're gonna bring this hug up into your chest. The legs start to get nice and warm. Here we go. Good. Stay right with this. I'm gonna add something on the next one. I'm gonna add a knee with a reverse lunge. Take a look. One hug, reverse lunge, and bring it back. So now we have squat, one knee, reverse lunge, and bring it home. Take your time on this. 3 little moves that we put together to make the warm up a little more dynamic. Drive it up, hug, and back. Let's do 2 more. One squat, hug the knee, reverse lunge. One more time. One squat, hug the knee, and reverse, bring it home. Good job. This next move I'm gonna turn to the side to show you. We're gonna do a little hinge. So what I want you to do is rather than bend your knees first, I want you to send your hips back, hands go right above the knees, and bring it home. Simple little movement here. So what you're gonna do is keep your body nice and tall, top of your head to your tailbone, and you're just hinging over. You'll notice, unlike the squat, I'm not bending my knees first. I'm actually pushing my hips back into this hinge position, and in that hinge position, the knees soften. You want to load up the energy in the back of your legs here. So this is a nice warm up to actually wrap around the legs a little bit as you come home. You'll see later on that the hinge is very important to swinging. So I want you to make sure we got a few of these in as we go. Give me 2 more here. Give me 1 more here and bring it home. Good job. Getting warm? I am. Let's do this. I want you to separate a little wider in your feet. Anchor those feet into the ground, and we're going to move into the lateral lunge. Sit back and down. Now this move all the time needs a little adjustment, right? So we're never perfect at this, which is great. We're always improving the movement strategy here. This is what you want to think. Just like a squat, knee stays right above the foot, you're sending your hips back and down. You never want to make your chest lead this move. You want to lead through the hips as you drive backwards. You're actually pressing down into the heel, loading up the leg that you're leaning into, and really pushing away from the floor to activate the whole leg. Give me a few more here, and we're gonna move on. Good job. So those are your laterals. So first thing we're gonna do is talk about safety. I wanna make sure the space around you is clear, that if you're using a kettlebell or a dumbbell, that you have a towel and water nearby. And yes, if you don't have a kettlebell and you're using a dumbbell, it's absolutely fine. It's not the same exact feeling, but the practice is gonna give you enough information to know if kettlebells are right for you. One more thing I want us to talk about before we get started, and that is going to be the level of fitness you're at in your life right now. You need to assess that, and you need to assess your joint health and your back health to make sure that you're feeling confident in building these moves into your workout routines. You can go through this routine with no weight at all, just to see if the movement strategies in your body feel right and if you can modify them to make them right for you. So always take ownership of your fitness journey and do what's right for your body. We're actually gonna grab our bells right now. So if you have a dumbbell, you can grab the dumbbell by the heads. If you have a kettlebell, you're gonna grab your kettlebell and you're gonna grab it by the body, which means this. You're gonna thread one hand through the bell and you've got a really nice grip. And all you're gonna do is rotate your wrists in one direction. We're gonna warm up the wrists a bit, making sure that they're nice and healthy, feeling good today, and then reverse direction. That's all it is. You're gonna do a lot of this wrist movement while you're swinging a bell and racking a bell, so you wanna make sure you're staying really healthy with this, all right? Good, bring it home. Now we're gonna go to what's called the horn grip and do one of my favorite warm-up moves. It's called the halo. So right here, bell bottom up, you're gonna drop the bell behind the head and bring it right up under your chin, and you're gonna go to the other side. And this is a great warm-up exercise for your upper body. It warms up the joints of your shoulders and elbows. And you wanna make sure that you're not ducking your head away from the bell. Let me show you what that looks like. See this a lot, when people duck away from the bell and add extra tension in their body. I want you to relax your shoulders. Shoulders are backing down. Your elbows point forward. You wrap that bell around the head. This is a great move. You may even feel a little extra work and burn in your arms. That's the added benefit to this move as well. Good? Bring it back, give me one more, and then let's flip that bell and put it down. So, let's move on to swings. And we're gonna do a couple of drills that are gonna help us get ready for swings. Pick up your bell, and we're gonna do horn grip squat. So we just did a horn grip for the halo in the warm-up. And what we're gonna do right now is add this to our squat. So just basic squat again, but now it's weighted. And we're just gonna count these out. We're gonna get 10 reps in, that's 3. And what I want you to do is just feel that extra weight in your body. Halfway there in our first set, 5 more to go. 5, bring it up. 4, bring it up, good job. 3, 2, and 1. Wouldn't that be nice if that were the end of the workout? It's just the beginning. We're gonna do another set. I want you to think about how you can make this set better than the first. Are you ready? Rest time is over, let's begin. 10 reps. So again, you're thinking of traditional squat. The knees go bent first, the hips go back. You really find that. 5 in, let's do 5 more. 5, good job. 4, 3 more. 3, 2 more. 2, 1 more, and good job. Now we're gonna flip the bell. We're gonna grab the bell in what's called the swing grip, right? You're grabbing the bell, both hands on that bell horn. Shoulders roll back. We're gonna move to the hinge. Again, from the side. Now the weight is gonna be dragging us down. We're unsupported, so you wanna make sure you're firing up the hamstrings and the glutes. Your core is active, and you snap up nice and powerful. Yeah? Let's try. Down and up. Now we're just gonna keep doing this because this is a critical move to making sure your swings are really strong and you're doing them right. You wanna make sure your hips move back first. Your knees are just softening. So if you notice, I'm not actively bending my knees like I would for a squat. I'm actually letting my hips move back. As soon as I feel the backs of my legs connect, I'm allowing my knees to soften a little bit. And the bell stays really close to the body. So you wanna make sure you're getting a powerful drive, squeezing that butt on the way up, stacking your hips right on top of your legs. Give me just a couple more here. Good, and 1 more. Drive, shoulders roll back. We'll do 1 more set like that. Doesn't matter how many reps because you might be moving a little quicker or slower than me. So let's just get them together and get them out of the way. Shoulders back, and let's begin. Down and up. I want you to notice one more thing. I'm not being rude by not looking at you, but the proper form on this is to take your eye gaze slightly down with you as you come down into this hinge position. Sometimes it's called the deadlift. We're not quite getting deep enough for a deadlift, but this is that little hinge. And right about now, if you got enough weight, you're gonna feel how your glutes, that's your butt, and your hamstrings, those are the long muscles in the back of your legs, how they're firing up a little bit. Good, you wanna take any tension out of the neck by doing this. Take a look. This is something we'd like to eliminate because it puts tension in your neck. You're gonna drive right here, snap up nice and tight. Couple more, snap, 2 more, drive, and 1 more. Good job. All right, now holding the bell just like that, we're gonna do this. Really simple and clean. It's as if a squat and that hinge had a baby. You wanna do a little bit of each. So the squat and the hinge together is what we call the swing squat, or a squat when you're swinging to pick up a bell. There's really no term for it. So when you hear squat to swing, it's actually the hybrid and not truly a squat and not truly a deadlift. Take a look. You're gonna go right here and drive up. You notice that it's a nice little hybrid of a squat. I'm allowing the knees to bend just a slight bit more, but I'm really leading with the hips driving back. That's the most critical part of this. So let's do a couple reps here. You might be thinking this feels just like the last one we did, but I want you to bend your knees just slightly more. And when we get to the swing, you'll understand why. So again, it's unlike the hinge in the way that you're just allowing a little more knee bend. So it's that beautiful connection between the two moves. Give me 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, and 1 more. Drive it up. Beautiful. So those are the little foundational moves that get us ready to swing. So we talk about swinging? Let's do it. Swings are one of the most critical foundation exercises for kettlebells, and they're the #1 thing I see done incorrectly. So let's get them right. We're gonna do this in 4 easy steps. 1, assume the position, and that is what you just did, that kind of hybrid. So when you hear swing or squat to swing, you now know that you're gonna be driving down into that proper position to drive your hips, stack them right above your legs. The second thing you wanna think about is momentum and power. So momentum and power are this. The power comes from the back of your legs. You're firing up the glutes and the hamstrings. You're loading them up with a lot of energy, and then you're tossing that bell into the air. Controlled movement. But when that bell goes up in the air, it doesn't have a lot of weight at the top. So on the way back down, it's creating a lot of energy, a lot of momentum in your body that you need to capture in the backs of your legs, long back, shoulders back, beautiful posture, and drive up every time. A swing starts in that hinge position. So I want to show you a swing before we begin. It's going to be right here, and there's that hinge. I want you to notice how I'm really driving through the legs. And you can even hear in the way I'm talking, that power on the way up. It really drives through the body every time. So you'll notice the momentum. I am not allowing that bell to drop and hold me down. I'm using the energy as it comes across the body. The third thing you want to think about is the height of where you swing the bell. You want to make sure you're keeping it right about chin level. Now you'll see all kinds of swings these days that go over the head and all over the place. But if you're really starting out and you want a strong, good swing, you want to make sure the trajectory really lands under your chin. And it's called the curvilinear line around the body. It swings in a circular pattern. You're going to land it right about under your chin, shoulders are packed down, and you let it go, using that momentum. And that's a critical thing. The other thing I see a lot is this. Take a look. When people make an error in 1, assuming the position, and 2, using momentum. It looks like this. They squat and then muscle the bell up. Have you seen this? I see it all the time. This is a completely different exercise, and I would not recommend it for kettlebells. You want to take that the shoulders back. You want to really drive the body nice and tall. And when you're swinging the bell, you want to use that momentum. So you notice this. My arms, dare I say it, are a little lazy at this point. They're just kind of like letting the bell swing through, and I'm letting my legs do all the work. And you can see just for a few sets of swings that I'm pouring in sweat already. So this is a great cardiovascular and strength exercise combined. The last thing I want you to think about is this. Your last swing is always going to end in the low position. It never ends at the top. And here's why. If I were to end my swing at the top, take a look. All that weight is driving me forward and down. It's quite dangerous for your body. But always think this. Your final swing lands low. But here's the thing. You've got to absorb that extra energy. That momentum has to go someplace, and it's going to go into your legs. Your core is braced, and it looks like this. Final swing, and then absorb. You notice the bell does a little swing at the bottom because it's got all that energy. That's totally cool. What you want to make sure is that you never land at the top, driving that bell down, which could put you in danger of hurting your shoulders or your back. Cool? All right, there are your 4 fundamentals of making swings perfect in your body, and it's time to try them. So what I want you to do is grab a bell or your dumbbell, and I want you to get into that perfect position. Shoulders back, body tall. We're gonna go for just a few seconds here, but I want you to think about assuming the position. For this round only, assume the position. Always find the hinge, not the squat, that hybrid squat we talked about. Are you ready? 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Drive and up. So this is gonna be about 30 seconds of work, and I want you to think about this. Is that bell that close to the body when you swing? Yes, it actually is. It's dangerously close to the body if you think about it. But when you have control over your swing, it actually is the perfect position. So your swing doesn't want to come lower than the inner thigh. Think about it that way. You're not reaching. The deeper it is not the better. The swing stays really tight to your body. 3, 2, and 1. Put the bell down. Take a breather. Great. We're gonna go back. We're gonna do another 30 seconds. This time, I want you to think about the momentum, that power that you're driving up through the back of the legs and the hamstrings. Remember this, you're loading up the back of the legs to get that swing to happen. And that's the only place that power comes from. The bell becomes weightless at the top. So we're gonna do another set. This time, think about momentum. You've got the position. Now it's time to talk about that momentum. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and begin. Another 30 seconds. I said this would be a little workout, right? Because I'm sweating. And swinging kettlebells to me is one of the best cardio exercises. It also builds strength, timing, coordination, all these extra benefits in your body. Keep breathing and keep going. Remember, you're thinking about momentum. Really letting that bell swing through, slam it up into the air by using the power in your legs. We're going good. Keep moving. Keep breathing. 30 seconds is almost up. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. We got 2 more rounds of swings. Towel off if you need to. If your hands are sweaty or wet right now, it's a perfect time to dry off your belt, dry off your hands, grab a sip of water. We're gonna come back. We're gonna do another 30 seconds. This time, we're gonna think about the height of your swing. Shoulders are back and down. The other thing I see a lot is people reaching forward for a swing. And I want you to really focus on keeping your shoulders back on this and letting the bell really top out under your chin. We cool? Great. 30 seconds begins in 3, 2, 1. Down and up. So I'm thinking, I just want to see that bell really hit the top of its swing right about chin level so I can see it as it comes up. My eyes are going to come down just a bit like we talked about in the warm-up for the hinge every time. So a reminder, your neck is not pulling forward. Your eyes kind of move with the move. All right? We're doing great. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, and 1. Release and breathe. So good. Okay, last round, 30 seconds. This is all about making sure all the first 3 foundational elements are in your body, and the 4th is your final rep, when you let that momentum sink into your body, all right? So thinking about that, we're gonna put it all together. Your next 30 seconds starts in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. We've got good swings going now. This is the true definition of kettlebell work right now. You see those swings happen. Now I'm gonna give you an added little bonus tip here. I want you to make sure that your knees aren't bowing out. Make sure that your feet are under your hips in a way that your knees stay parallel and you're nice and clean here. Good? We got about 5 more seconds. Let's go 5, let's go 4, let's go 3, let's go 2, and let's go 1. Release and breathe. So good. You just completed 4 rounds, 30 seconds of swings. That is a triumph. Good on you. So let's move on. We're gonna move into what we call the rack position. I'm gonna do 4 little bullet points here that will get you to the perfect position and a great way of getting it to your rack. Okay, so what does a rack look like? A rack looks like this. The bell is hugged to your body. The bell bottom is down on the angle. And if you really want to think about this as clutching the bell to your body, it's one of our points in just a second, but you want to make sure this is what you look like. If you took a photo for social media right now, this would look like a good rack, okay? So how do we get here? We get here for the clean. The clean is a movement that's very powerful like the swing, but it comes straight up the body. So unlike the curvilinear line, this is called the rectilinear line. It comes straight up your body, okay? So let's talk about this. Where does that come from? What position? Is it a swing squat? Is it a squat? Or is it that hinge? Well, this is a little different because your knees are going to bend a little more. Unlike a traditional swing where the bell stays really close to the inner thigh, Your clean with the bell is gonna go a little deeper, actually around the knee, maybe even lower than the knee just a bit, depending on how flexible you are. So think about it this way, you're still using that hybrid squat and hinge, but you're also thinking a little more knee bend when you clean to rack for more power from the leg to drive that bell up. Same concept as a bell. As you come up, it gets a little weightless and you're gonna turn it into place as you go. So that's your first little note, is to make sure that you get the hybrid of that squat in there, a little more knee bend. Here comes the big note. And I see this all the time and I call it rack it, don't crack it. Because if you watch any kettlebell videos or you've seen people at the gym, this happens all the time. Crack into the wrist. It's the #1 complaint I get about kettlebell work. But my wrists. And here's the thing. The secret is this, in the timing of the rotation. And if you get that timing of the rotation right, let me tell you that your rack will be comfortable, you'll be stronger for it. It just takes some time and practice, okay? So this is the position, we talked about it. You're hugging it to your body. You wanna make sure you rotate the bell. And let me show you this. I'm gonna try to do this in slow motion. If you are to flip the bell, this is what I don't want you to do. You're gonna come up and it's gonna go like this, over and slam into your wrist. This is the rotation. From that little deeper knee bend, you come up and the bell actually rotates around. There is a little trick that you can do by taking one of your index fingers, put it right at the bottom of the bell, and as you come up and around, keep your finger on that bell. It's gonna be a lot easier to rotate the bell versus flip it. So if that works for you, I invite you to do it, okay? So remember this, as you come up, you're gonna rotate that bell, it lands softly into the body. #3, clutch that bell. You wanna make sure that your wrist is neutral, it's never bent. So take a look, straight wrist, clutch to the body. And when I mean clutch, I mean it's really close to your body. And how can you tell? You can tell by doing this. You can flick your chin all the time with that finger if you need to. If you can't, you know that the bell's traveling away from your body and you never want your rack to end over here. You always want it clutched to your body, okay? #4, when you come down into this final repetition, your body's gonna wanna drag you forward. So what I want you to make sure you're doing is not allowing this rotation and drag, that when you come down, you're always loading up the back of the legs and snapping up for power. Your final rep, absorb, put the bell down, and you're ready to go. So good form along the way will make sure that that clean and the rack is always up to good par. Are we ready? We're gonna do some. So remember this, first round is all gonna be about that hybrid squat, like the power. Then you're gonna make sure you rotate the bell, clutch it to your body, and when we're done on one side, you're gonna put that bell down, absorbing the weight. Cool? We're gonna do 30 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1. Hybrid, rotate, hug. Do it again. Hybrid, and I say hybrid because that's that hybrid squat and hinge, but we can call it a squat. Squat and drive. Now you know when you pick up a bell, a squat always has a slightly different definition. Boom. I'm gonna make it a little more powerful. All the way up to the top. You see that? The bell kind of just floats right into place. Just a few more seconds on this side. Keep going. Drive it up. In 4, in 3, in 2. We can get one more in 1, and clutch it to your body. On the way down, absorb the weight, bring it home. We're gonna go on the other side. Are you ready? Our 30 seconds is gonna start in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Down and rack it up. Good. Down and rack it up. Beautiful. You wanna clutch that bell to the body. Really find that beautiful connection all the way up. Good. From the side, you're looking just like this. Boom. Rack it up. You notice stacking the hips right along those feet. No hips forward on this. Squeezing that butt on the way up. Good. You're looking great. Drive it up and bring it down. Drive it up and bring it down. Give me one more. Drive it up and bring it down. Awesome. So let it absorb, get it home. You ready to try it again? Do it one more time on each side, just for good form. Remember, all those rules apply. So thinking about a lot, but you're building skill into your body. And when you build that skill, you become more proficient. You're gonna be so good at this. Are you ready? In 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds this side again. Hup, bring it up. What can we improve on this time, right? Maybe we can time the rotation a little better. Maybe more power through the legs. Love that. Squeeze the butt tight. Maybe drive your body up a little harder. Maybe push your shoulders down at the top so you're nice and tall. Good, keep going here. Keep pushing. You're looking great, you guys. Just keep fighting. Keep fighting for this. And I know it's a lot of work, and it may feel different in your body, but I believe that you adapt to these new stresses in your body in a good way to build new strength and skill. Good job. Put it down and bring it home. Whew. You sound like me at home right now? Because it's a lot of work. Okay, in just a few seconds, we're gonna do our final set of 30 seconds on the other side. I hope you're ready. In 3, in 2, let's go. Down and rack it up, beautiful. Down and rack it up, amazing. Now, all the same things you improved on one side, we're bringing to the other. Standing tall, shoulders down. Perfect rotation every time. Slightly more bend in the knee as you come up. Clutching that belt every time as you come up. Let's go, push, good. We're almost there, you guys. Drive it up. Squeeze as you come up. Really drive the power from the back of those legs. Your quads are working too, but the back of the legs are really driving up, good. In a few seconds, we're done. 2 and 1 more. Drive it up and put it down very carefully and bring it home. What a great job you did. It's tough to do, but I'll tell you this, when you clean to rack like that, it's the threshold to so many great other moves, and I can't wait for you to try those as well. So let's do a quick little cool down. All I want you to do is take a moment to catch your breath, bring your fists together and elbows together, and you're gonna roll them out. Good. Now, people ask me all the time, can I add wrist protection? Of course you can. But I want you to be careful because it sometimes gives you the opportunity to crack your wrist because you know there's something there to help it. So I want you to graduate away from that as soon as possible. Let's go to the other direction, please. Good. And I'm keeping my fist touching so I can really get a nice big stretch at the top of the hands. Good. Now shake it all out. Perfect. Roll your shoulders back. Roll them back again. 2 more times. And 1 more time. Good. Believe it or not, it's time for hip rolls. We're gonna go around in a circle. I know it looks old school, but this is one of the better exercises to really find some mobility and also scan your body in your back and hips if there's any place that needs a little attention. If you find that spot, take care of that spot. You can stretch or foam roll, make sure you're taking care of it. Let's go to the other direction. You did a great job today, and I know that sometimes doing something new is a scary thing, but I hope that you really investigated whether or not kettlebells will work for you. They work for me, I love them, and you can always check out my workouts at Glow, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. Good, bring it home, roll your shoulders back, roll them back again, 2 more times. 2 and 1. This is how you should walk through your day, chest high, proud of the work you did. So I'm Paul Katami, and I want you to do this kettlebell foundation tutorial workout as many times as you need to feel confident in picking up a kettlebell and joining me in some really awesome full-length workouts. You can do that by simply going over to Glow, you search for me, you find the kettlebell programs, and I will see you there.